I'm David Mail from Department of Life, Health and Chemical Sciences, and some of the work that we are doing is involved in trying to work out how to get therapeutic agents into the brain. And this is a really big problem for the pharmaceutical industry because 95% of the drugs that we would use to treat diseases like multiple sclerosis and Alzheimer's disease don't actually get into the brain because they don't cross the cells lining the brain blood vessels, which are called endothelium. And as far as gene therapy is concerned, it's even worse because none of the potential genes that we might use ever get into the brain. So in this particular project, we're working alongside a company called Midotech, who use nanoparticles, and we're trying to add these as carriers and work out how they might cross from the blood into the brain. And on this particular project, I'm working with a research assistant here, Radka, who's doing some cell culture using some human cells. So what exactly are you doing here?
Well, I'm adding gold nanoparticles onto the human cells, which then I'm going to look at the electron microscope and see what happens, where the nanoparticles go.
In order to find out whether the nanoparticles are actually crossing the endothelial cells, we have to use an electron microscope, this electron microscope here. The reason for this is that nanoparticles are so unbelievably tiny that you could get a billion of them just on the head of a pin, and that means that only an electron microscope is really capable of locating them. So on this particular part of the project here, we're looking to see where the nanoparticles have got to. So what are you finding?
So this is a brain endothelial cell, which is the cell that lines the blood vessel. And these black dots are the gold nanoparticles. I applied the gold nanoparticles from the top of the culture, which is the blood side, and the gold nanoparticles were able to enter the cell and also cross the cell and exit it on the other side of the cell, which is here, the bottom of the cell, which would have been the brain side. So what it means that the gold nanoparticles can be used as potential delivery system for drugs or genes into the brain.
Okay, so this is just one example of the kind of project that we're doing. This is with a company called Midotech, but we have several other projects related to this, one of which is to see whether we can selectively get the nanoparticles targeted onto these cells so that we can get drug delivery right into the brain.